Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware that Melani Pawlowski went to court this week. She had her trial, her custody battle trial, and it looks like the judge is still looking over some things. I was able to find a couple quick clips. I couldn't find the whole trial, like the whole hearing, so I don't know if it was videoed and released to the public or not, or if we're just gonna get these quick little clips and that's all we get. But I'm gonna play those for you here in a minute. I just want to read over some of the stuff, like a kind of a summary of what happened. I was gonna read the documents, like the pre-trial document, the affidavit, and all of that stuff, but maybe instead we'll do that in a live this week, and for this video I'll just give you kind of a quick summary of everything. Okay, so let me read this article. I kind of found some parts of different articles that kind of sum it up really nice. So, Lori Vallow Daybell's niece, Melani Pawlowski, has been in a fight for custody with her ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, for more than a year. Records show Boudreaux expressed concern for his children's welfare over Melani's connection to her aunt Lori and Chad Daybell, and accused involvement in an attempt on his life. In court filings, Melani's side has denied accusations. On October 2nd, 2019, Gilbert PD responded to a call for an attempted shooting at Boudreaux. Court records show Boudreaux accused Alex Cox, Lori's brother, and Melani's uncle, of pulling the trigger. He also accuses Melani of being involved because she's the only person who knew his new address at the time of the shooting. In a custody trial Wednesday, Melani was asked about the shooting and she denies any involvement. Records show two different affidavits from Gilbert police, which testimony reveals Melani was initially a person of interest in the investigation and was later called an investigative lead. Attorneys on both sides confirm Melani is not facing any charges. At last check, Gilbert police are still investigating. Melani testified she moved to Rexburg, Idaho in November 2019. Records show she moved to the same complex as her aunt Lori Vallow Daybell and uncle Alex Cox. Lori's children, Tylee Ryan and Joshua J.J. Vallow, disappeared in September 2019. In court Wednesday, Melani's attorney asked if she believes in zombies and dark spirits, which Melani denies. Other court documents and police reports indicate that zombies and dark spirits are allegedly beliefs taught by Chad Daybell to a religious doomsday group and could possibly be linked to the several death investigations the couple is tied to. Do you think it's reasonable for Brandon to accuse you of being in a cult just because you're Lori Vallow's niece? Asked Melani's attorney. Absolutely not, she responds. When questioned by Boudreaux's attorney whether contact with Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox was appropriate given all that happened, Melani responded she didn't see what was going on behind her back. In May, when Melani interviewed with 12 News, she defended her Aunt Lori and claimed that she didn't know what happened to Tylee and JJ, but believed Lori wouldn't harm her children. After the children's bodies were discovered, one of her attorneys sent a statement on behalf of Melani, her new husband Ian, Lori's mother, and Lori's sister, saying in part that we're all deeply saddened by the recent findings and will anxiously await the pending conclusions with heavy hearts. Testimony tells that Melani was deemed to be a fit parent after a doctor's evaluation through the court. Ultimately, in court Wednesday, each party agreed to restore joint decision-making for their children, and Melani will have full visitation restored in January 2020 after a reintroduction period. Testimony tells that Melani was deemed to be a fit parent after a doctor's evaluation through the court. A judge is still reviewing some other unresolved issues connected to financial matters in the custody trial. Lori and Chad Daybell are scheduled for a joint trial in July 2021. Okay, so I'm going to play you the short little clips that I was able to find so far. Maybe there'll be some that come out soon, and if they do, I will find them and upload them. But right now, there's only this small little clip that actually has the audio from the hearing. I'll play it for you real quick. And then those other parts that you just saw in slow motion, those didn't have the actual audio from the hearing. It was just a reporter talking over it. So here's that small little part that actually had the audio.
You're not in a cult. You don't believe in zombies. You don't believe in dark spirits. You don't believe in doing harm to someone to exorcise a dark spirit. Do you think it was reasonable for Brandon to accuse you of being in a cult just because you're Lori Vallow's niece?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so now I'm going to read you Brandon's and Melanie's pre-trial statements. I'm going to read Brandon's first. Okay, so remember, mother is Melanie and father is Brandon. Okay, so Brandon says, to recap some of the facts in this matter, mother joined her aunt and uncles, Lori Vallow Daybell, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox in October 2019 in Rexburg, Idaho, where they began the formation of their cult-like dark religious belief group. Mother abandoned her children and her life in Arizona to join the cult and refused to reveal her address to father. Mother failed to appear for the emergency hearing that was held in this matter in December 2019, even though she had been served and was well aware of the hearing by not only her current husband's account, but also by her own admissions to a mutual friend of hers and father's in November 2019, wherein mother tells the friend that I've seen the stuff in court, I've prayed about it, and the Lord is like, but if you do nothing, then it will work out better. The members of the cult that mother is associated with, and possibly mother herself, have caused significant harm to others. I'm skipping some parts here, and we could actually go through it word for word in our next Vallow case discussion, actually, because I want to go this week. I want to continue reading those documents, the Vallow documents that we were reading, that we started reading a while ago, the ones with Joseph Ryan and Lori, their custody battle, and those thousands of pages of documents that we have to continue reading because we didn't get through all of them yet. So I know you guys probably forgot about them because it's been like probably over a month, if not 2 months. But I'd like to actually pick up where we left off this week sometime. So if you want me to add these into the mix to read, let me know. But I'm actually not skipping that much. I'm just skipping a few little parts, so there might not be really a point to actually go back and read them since I'm reading the majority of them right now. As far as the Melanie and Brandon custody battle documents. Now as far as the Lori and Joseph ones, yeah, we have many more to go on that, so this week we'll try to get a big chunk of those read. Okay, let me continue reading this document. So it says, further, the beliefs of mother, her current husband, and other members of the cult dark religious group are that once a person becomes a zombie, the only way for their soul to be freed is for them to die. Father's witness, Melanie Gibb, will testify that mother has told her that 2 of the party's children and father are zombies. Mother is clearly suffering from some form of mental health issue, and those issues and her current beliefs place the children in harm's way. Mother, through her counsel during an evidentiary hearing held in this matter in June 2020, admits that she was attempting to show father's religious beliefs, if not accompanied by conduct harmful to the children, do not make father a danger to the children any more than mother's beliefs make her a danger to the children. It is unfathomable to believe that mother feels her dark religious beliefs do not place the children in harm's way. In fact, JJ, Tylee, Charles Vallow, and believably Tammy Daybell were all killed by members of this sinister religious group after rumblings had been heard that they had turned to zombies. Clearly, mother's beliefs place the children's lives at significant risk of harm. Following mother's move to Rexburg, Idaho, mother lived next door to her aunt Lori Vallow Daybell and only a few doors away from her uncle Alex. At no time did mother ever express any level of concern over Tylee and JJ being missing. Mother repeatedly made statements through her multiple media interviews that her Aunt Lori Vallow Daybell was a loving mother who was protecting her children due to threats, and that her aunt was like a mother to her, and that she loved her, and that she was the best mother she ever knew, and that she would never harm her children. Mother has also stuck by her maternal grandmother's side, even using her as a collateral witness in the psychological evaluation process with Dr. Mellon. This is the very grandmother that lied to law enforcement about speaking with J.J. Vallow in October 2019. Mother, through her testimony and pleadings in this matter, has doubled down on her dark religious views. Mother has simply taken the stance to make a mockery out of the LDS faith, to try and show Father's beliefs in a bad light, to make as many defamatory statements relating to Father as she can to try and show Father as a bad person, and accusing him of being gay, as though being gay would be a horrible thing to be. Father questions whether Mother would simply discharge one of the party's children if they were to grow up being part of the LGBTQ community. Father firmly asserts he has presented substantial evidence throughout this matter to support his accusations against Mother in this matter, and that he is not falsely accusing Mother of acts that he does not believe are true. Mother states in filings with this court that Mother's decision to move to Idaho was based on a decision to be closer to her family. She needed the support of family because Father has deceptively removed the children from her custody and kept them from her custody with continued deception and falsehoods. Mother's decision to relocate to Idaho was not to join or to be closer to any speculative cult or its alleged members. She moved to Idaho to be closer to her family, who loved and supported her without judgment. She moved to Idaho as it placed her several hundred miles closer to her children, who are located in American Fork, Utah. There is absolutely no evidence of Mother's involvement in any type of religious cult. Father asserts that Mother's statements are patently untrue as to the statement surrounding Father and the children, as Mother intended to move to Idaho long before Father began the modification process in this matter. Mother, by her own beliefs, moved to Idaho to be closer to her family, who loved and supported her. Mother lied to Father about moving to Boise, Idaho. Mother told Ian Pawlowski, based on Mr. Pawlowski's own admissions, not to tell his ex-wife what Mother's last name was because she did not want Father to know where she was living. Mother lied to this court when she told the court that she was not properly served and did not know about the emergency hearing. Mother has filed false and defamatory press releases against Father. Mother has told all sorts of mistruths and continues to do so. Now that Mother's family who loves her is either dead or incarcerated, Mother is proclaiming to not hold the same beliefs as those family members. Father points out that these are the very same family members who she professes to have moved closer to for love and support, and because they did not judge her. These are the same family members that she defended adamantly during her multiple media interviews. These are the same family members that she left her children behind for, and the same family members who have involvement into the attempt on Father's life. Upon review of Mother's redacted financial records produced pursuant to discovery, Mother has blown through far more than $100,000 since July 2019. On top of this amount, there appears to be nearly $70,000 missing from Mother's financials of the monies that Mother was awarded at the same time of the dissolution in this matter. Mother's movement of monies from one account to another over and over is also curious at best, and appears to be occurring due to some type of paranoia on Mother's part. Based upon conversations that Father has had with the FBI, Father believes that Mother has and had been financially funding Alex Cox and others associated with religious cult. Father is aware that the FBI is currently investigating the finances of various members of Mother's family. Mother has made numerous accusations against Father through testimony, pleadings, and press releases. Said accusations accuse Father in part of being gay and struggling with sexuality, and of having a family heavily involved in all sorts of sinister acts. First, Mother's accusations relating to Father being gay are untrue and unfounded. Those statements are highly inappropriate as they reflect that Father is gay, and because of this, he somehow has mental health issues. Even if Father were gay, he would not be classified as having mental health issues. Father does not consider being gay a mental health issue, as Mother has alluded to it being. Father also asserts that if he were gay, he knows that he would not be ousted from the Church of Latter-day Saints, as Mother has alluded that Father is concerned with coming out for fear of being ousted from the church. Further, Mother has presented no credible evidence, testimony, or facts supporting her accusations relating to the sinister acts of Father's family. In fact, Father has a pending defamation case against 2 of Mother's attorneys for the defamatory press releases that were released relating to Father. Mother's media interviews throughout this litigation are filled with conflicting statements from one interview to the next. Mother's online heartfelt posts regarding Tylee and JJ are filled with remarks that are hard to describe and even harder to understand why she would feel righteous in making. Mother's Facebook post dated June 17, 2020 makes remarks such as, "If you knew Tylee, she would probably be giving the biggest eye roll at all the drama unfolding in the media." To anyone using this terrible situation to express their hate and blame on others, she would probably tell you off, because she was the sassiest thing ever and wasn't afraid to say how she felt. Father asserts that it is highly unlikely that Tylee would be rolling her eyes or telling anyone off. Mother's remarks are careless and daunting all at the same time. Mother's posts go on to state, "I truly wish she could go on live television and tell her story, rather than anyone else who has and will in the future. Just know, the stakes are set high from that girl. I know I can never measure up in that regard, as we've all seen. I'm horrible on live television, and I would rather not do it ever again or have to talk publicly about the trauma my family has gone through. I was always so impressed with Tylee's ability to express herself and communicate well. I wish she was here to clear up all the confusion for us. She would do it better than any of the rest of us could. What story does Mother wish Tylee could tell? Does she wish Tylee could tell the story of how the cult felt she and JJ had turned into zombies and killed them? Mother could simply clear everything up. However, like she chose to not come to the hearing on December 11, 2019 to defend against Father's accusations, she has also chosen to claim ignorance as to having any knowledge relating to any information that would or could be of use to law enforcement relating to the ongoing numerous investigations surrounding everyone involved with the cult. Father has shared and continues to share with this court solid evidence, including witness accounts, which point directly at Mother having knowledge of the felonious acts. On or about June 5, 2020, Ian Pawlowski and Natalie Pawlowski appeared for a hearing on Natalie Pawlowski's petition for order of protection, which listed their children as protected parties. Following the hearing, the 7th Judicial District, Madison County Court judge found that reasonable grounds existed to enter a renewed protection order, allowing Ian Pawlowski to only have supervised parenting time contact with his children. Since entry of this renewed protection order, Mr. Pawlowski had no contact with his children until after Father pointed that fact out to this court, and then Mr. Pawlowski began exercising supervised visitation with his own children. This should be a giant red flag for this court, as dismissing Father's pending modification and returning the parties to the orders as set forth in their consent decree would place the parties' children hereto in the direct custody of Mr. Pawlowski, an individual who has only been afforded supervised visits with his biological children. Melani Gibb has told Father of the conversation she had with Mother, wherein Mother told Miss Gibb that 2 of the parties' children were zombies. Miss Gibb has also told Father that Mother revealed that Father had gone from being dark to a zombie, and that he was part of Hitler's tight group of friends during Hitler's life. The belief of the members of the cult are that once a person becomes a zombie, the only way for their soul to be freed is for them to die. Father asserts that he has no current knowledge as to mother's continued involvement in the religious cult-like group she and her family are a part of. However, he does believe that the group remains active and that the remaining members are being extremely cautious in an attempt to avoid any further investigations by law enforcement. Father has presented significant and substantial persuasive evidence to this court which contradicts mother's denial of having anything to do with the attempted murder of father. Her denial of being involved with the radical religious cult-like group. Again, the attempt on father's life occurred after he had dropped 2 of the children off at school and the other 2 off with mother. Further, only mother knew father's new address, the very address where mother's uncle Alex attempted to kill father. Father had only lived at the address where he was shot at for 1 week. In addition, there will be evidence presented relating to mother's excitement over her Aunt Lori telling her that father had to die. Finally, mother's actions of marrying her current husband only 2 weeks after they first met seem to further speak to mother's mental health issues. Mother proclaims to be a lifelong member of the LDS Church. However, the church's beliefs are not to marry someone you have only known for 2 weeks. The church believes that marriage is very sacred, and that when you marry someone, you must know each other well, as you are being sealed to that person for eternity in the temple, and that you are making a covenant with God and your spouse. Mother's action of marrying someone she only knew for 2 weeks was like making a mockery out of the sacredness of the marriage sealing. Mother has told maternal grandfather that her children will know the truth. It is extremely concerning to father that mother will attempt to brainwash the party's children into believing the beliefs that mother, Lori Vallow Daybell, and the rest of mother's extended family believe. These beliefs are so dark and sinister that it frightens father to the very bottom of his soul as to what mother may attempt to do with the party's children. Father's fear for the safety and well-being of his children is not unfounded. Mother talks about speaking to God directly prior to the emergency hearing, and that he told her not to do anything as that was best since courts only want evidence and they don't want the truth. Mother's statement as to what God told her conflict with the church's doctrine. The church teaches that children are the most important social unit of all time, and that parents are to raise and nurture their children and put them first above all else, aside from God. Father believes that mother is in need of intense psychotherapy to address her involvement and beliefs surrounding the religious cult-like group she and her family are closely tied to and involved with. Mother's actions throughout the course of this litigation are unnerving and reflect the desperate need for mother to receive treatment and evaluation as to her mental state. Okay, so that was the pretrial statement. I was going to read you Melanie's requests, what she requested, the specifics of the custody and just some of her arguments and stuff, but I'm not gonna read that here on this video, but we could read it later on a live if you want, and I'll keep you updated if there's anything else that the judge decides or anything else that happens with this, I guess, and if I could find any more videos of the hearing. So let me know what you guys think, and then hopefully this week sometime we can discuss our thoughts on this information, and also maybe we could discuss the weird mom's theory on what she feels that Lori and Chad used on everybody. Yeah, we'll discuss that once you guys go watch that video, and yeah, so we'll have a few things to discuss. And also we could continue reading the documents of Lori Vallow and Joseph Ryan and their whole custody battle and all those thousands of documents that we started going through. So we'll continue reading through those and discussing. I know it's been like a few months. I'm sorry that it took so long to get around to finishing them, but let's do it this week, guys. Alrighty. Have a good night, everybody. Look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye.